Vladimir Putin made a quiet entry into the Russian political elite in the last year of the last century. In this century, he has led the world's largest country to prosperity and renewed status as a global power. As his third decade at the top continues, he's settling into a new style of leadership, one that is unlikely to rebuild diplomatic and business bridges with the West. 21 years ago, May 7, 2000, I was in Moscow reporting on Putin's inauguration for his first term as Russia's president. He had secured the Kremlin's top job just months after having become prime minister the previous year. At the time, the fact that Russia had had a peaceful political transition was seen as cause for celebration. It completed the first transfer of power from one freely elected leader to another in more than 1,000 years of Russian history, noted an opinion piece in the New York Times. More than 2 decades on, there has not been another such transition. Putin is still there. There were 4 years from 2008 to 2012 when Putin's political protégé, Dmitry Medvedev, was president, but Putin, back as prime minister, relinquished little real power where the big decisions were concerned. How Putin became popular. Putin's time as Russia's leader, and the considerable popularity he has had in the role, have shown different characteristics in different decades. Both show his skill at understanding what the Russian population wanted. Put simply, his first decade was about creating a sense of stability, after the chaos that followed the collapse of the communist system, and overseeing rising living standards. In the latter, he was helped by soaring revenues from Russia's natural resources as prices rocketed. In the summer of 2008, oil was trading at $147 a barrel. Newly confident with that new wealth, during Putin's second decade in power, Russia sought to reclaim the prominence on the world stage that it had lost with the collapse of Soviet power. That led to direct confrontation with the West. Military action popular at home, condemned in the West. The first flashpoint was the annexation in 2014 of Crimea from Ukraine. With hindsight, the brief 2008 war with Georgia seems like rehearsal on a smaller scale. Russia's redrawing of borders by military force infuriated Western governments, but was wildly popular at home. Putin's personal ratings rose to a record 89%. That was followed in 2015 by Russia's military campaign in Syria. The Kremlin's troops have had a decisive influence on the war, to the great advantage of President Bashar al-Assad over enemies who sought to remove him from power. I wrote last year, after Putin's success in a national vote on constitutional reform opened the way for him to stay in power until 2036, that he needed new ideas. Foreign policy successes cannot be guaranteed to deliver the same dividends. Russia's economy, affected by lower energy prices and the coronavirus pandemic, is not in the health it was. Real incomes fell by 3.